Beneath the earth we know lie other worlds, hidden from sight, lost in time. But sometimes we can glimpse a lost world through remnants of the past.
We definitely got a skull. Lower right, what do you think?
It's hard to say. Maybe
This story begins with the discovery of unidentified bones.
depositional environment. It's part of the Niobrara.
A team of paleontologists will try to figure out whose bones they are and what world they came from.
So we got a time frame. That's a start.
They were discovered in Kansas, mostly farmland today. But once, Kansas lay beneath a vast sea. It was 82 million years ago, during the age of the dinosaurs. But there was another world of giants on Earth. A submerged world, where enormous reptiles ruled seas filled with incredible creatures. These were the most dangerous seas of all time. No living thing was safe. The great marine reptiles disappeared long ago, and time has buried their world. But any of us might still encounter a sea monster. As if from nowhere, the distant past returns. The scientists hope to find not just the fossil of an ancient creature, but a story recorded in its bones.
Grab your tools. Rain washed some of the chalk away and exposed it. This is great. Okay.
They recognize it as something special. A rare Dolly corincops, a dolly for short. It was a marine reptile of the late Cretaceous, little bigger than a dolphin, and a fast swimmer. To unravel any story the bones may tell, the investigators will draw on everything they know about marine reptiles.
Yeah, it looks like a Hesperornis.
Their fossils have been found around the world over decades.
Yeah, the matrix materials we've got on the left seem
These finds will help the team piece together the story of the dolly and picture the moment in time when it swam in the sea. In many ways, the dolly's world was far different from ours. The climate was warmer, sea levels were higher, and more of Earth was submerged. This dolly would have lived in a vast inland sea that cut North America in two. Marine reptiles were also found in the waters around Europe, which was a scattering of islands, and throughout the world's oceans. In time, they died out and sea levels retreated, exposing vast areas of seabed. Fossils from the ancient oceans turned up on every continent. A discovery in the Australian outback offers clues to how the dolly's life may have begun.
It seems to be laying out in a pretty consistent pattern. 95% of the fossils we're finding here are the bones of juveniles.
So many small bones in one area suggest that marine reptiles gathered in protected shallows to give birth. And in North America, that's how the story of this dolly begins to unfold. Imagine that one of the creatures in the shallows is a pregnant Dolly corincops. She gives birth to a male, 18 inches long and colored like his mother. And a female, darker in color, with light patches below her eyes. And it's her life we begin to follow. She and her brother are air breathers. Instinct tells them what they have to do in their first minute alive. From the beginning, the little female and her brother practice skills they'll need one day, when they'll have to leave the safety of the shallows for the dangerous seas beyond. If she survives the perils to come, she'll return here one day and have young of her own. Already, she finds competition for food. There's the Hesperornis, a bird that can't fly and has a beak full of sharp teeth. And the Styxosaurus, a distant cousin of the dollies with a supersized neck. An adult can reach 35 feet in length. More than half of it, neck. Its shape makes it a slower swimmer, but it's great for catching fish. The little dolly soon comes across creatures that move by pumping jets of water from their shells. They're called ammonites, and they thrive in the ancient sea. They have rock-hard armor, And perhaps another defense: swim too close like the little female and get a face full of ink. But that doesn't stop a young platycarpus when it wants a snack. Ammonites were once abundant, and their fossils have been uncovered often, even by a road crew in Texas. There were many kinds of ammonites, and we know when most of them lived, so their fossils are like markers in time. Identify an ammonite, and you can date other less common fossils nearby. That helps place dollies in the long history of marine reptiles. It began some 250 million years ago in the Triassic period, with land reptiles that moved into the sea. They developed webbed feet, then flippers. Some had elaborate armor. Into the Jurassic, they continued to evolve. To see at great depths, some had eyes the size of dinner plates. Top predators grew immense and powerful, reaching their peak in the late Cretaceous, near the end of the dinosaur age. The very time when the dolichoryncops lived. Months have passed, and the female and her brother are now juveniles. But they're still in the safety of the shallows and unaware of the huge predators in the sea beyond. For now, they're mastering the art of catching their favorite prey, herring-like fish called encotis. Then one day, everything changes for the dollies. Perhaps it's a change of seasons that causes the encotis to head out to sea on a migration. The dollies must follow their main source of food. And that means the young female and her brother must now set out on the journey of their lives, trailing their mother from the shallows out into the western interior sea. It's about the size of the Mediterranean and only a few 100 feet deep. But somewhere ahead are enormous predators.